The night hums softly. The world sleeps. Yet somewhere between breath and silence, something stirs. Dreams shimmer like dust in moonlight, shifting, fragile, alive. In that hidden place, where thought becomes image, he waits. Morpheus, the Dreamkeeper, the one who shapes what the mind dares to see. He walks through corridors of sleep, weaving memories into stories. Each dream, a whisper. Each nightmare, a question unanswered. But tonight, something feels wrong. The rhythm of dreams falters. A silence stretches where the oracle's voice once sang. She was the heart of prophecy, the keeper of forgotten truths. Now her temple stands empty, wrapped in shadow and stillness. Even time seems to hesitate, holding its breath. Morpheus pauses, feeling the weight of absence. He knows this silence is not ordinary, it carries meaning. A dream has fallen asleep within itself. A voice erased. He closes his eyes, searching the currents of sleep. Somewhere beyond the veil, the oracle dreams alone. And if he cannot find her, the realm of dreams may fade forever. The night deepens. The journey begins. The realm of dreams breathes in rhythm with the sleeping world. Stars shimmer in liquid skies, their reflections drifting through the mind's ocean. Morpheus moves slowly, his steps leaving ripples that hum like distant songs. He senses imbalance, a faint discord in the harmony of slumber. Dreams flicker, some fading before they are fully born. Whispers dissolve mid-sentence. Stories end without closing lines. Something is missing, something vital. He closes his eyes, listening deeper. Usually, the dream realm pulses with quiet music, soft, endless, alive. Tonight, there is a hollow sound, like a heartbeat that skips a beat. He walks through fields of half-formed dreams. Faces shimmer, voices echo, laughter curls into silence. Children's dreams of flight falter, their wings vanish in mist. Poets' visions blur before the final verse can bloom. All dreams seem to lean toward a single point, a void. Morpheus follows the pull, tracing the emptiness like a thread. The air grows still. Time slows its breath. He finds himself standing before a vast horizon of glass. The sky above it has no color, no reflection, no stars. Beyond that glass lies the place where the oracle once spoke. Her temple, suspended between night and dawn. He remembers her voice, soft as wind over water. She guided the dreamers, whispering wisdom from beyond the veil. But now, only silence remains. The silence hums strangely, heavy, purposeful. It is not the silence of peace, but of something forgotten. Morpheus steps forward. The glass ripples under his hand. He feels memories trapped inside. Old visions, fractured prophecy, words without meaning, questions without echo. He whispers her name, but the sound fades before reaching her. The realm itself trembles, uncertain. Morpheus kneels, touching the dream dust beneath his fingers. It turns to shadow, slipping through his grasp. He looks up, sensing eyes that are not there. Dreams watch him, waiting, hoping, remembering. He knows the oracle's voice once carried through every dream. Without her, the patterns lose shape, the stories lose direction. He must find where she has gone, or what she has become. For even gods cannot weave without the thread of meaning. The dream realm begins to dim, color draining into the void. Morpheus spreads his cloak of starlight and listens one last time. A faint whisper reaches him, soft, fragile, fading fast. It says, "Find me where silence dreams." And then the voice is gone. The whisper lingers like the trace of a forgotten melody. Morpheus rises, his eyes glimmering with resolve. The silence no longer frightens him. It calls. He turns toward the horizon of glass, where memory sleeps, and with a single step, he vanishes into the silence. The silence follows him, curling like mist around thought. Each step Morpheus takes echoes in the hollow space between dreams. He moves through shifting light, through layers of memory and myth. The horizon of glass fades, replaced by endless halls of silver air. There, in the distance, rises the forgotten temple of the oracle. Its towers lean like sleeping giants, wrapped in ancient starlight. The air hums with faint remnants of prayers never answered. Morpheus walks closer, feeling time stretch and fold beneath him. Every breath becomes heavier, as if the dream itself resists his presence. He passes statues of voices, frozen mid-sentence, their lips half open. Each statue hums softly, vibrating with a tone lost to eternity. He knows these were once the dream guides, servants of the oracle. Now, they remember nothing, only the echo of what once was. The great doors of the temple stand ajar, whispering as if alive. When Morpheus enters, darkness greets him like an old friend. The walls are made of memory, moving, flowing, telling silent tales. Symbols glow faintly, fading as his gaze touches them. He brushes his hand across one. It flares with forgotten meaning. It shows a figure of light and shadow entwined. A prophecy once spoken, now fractured and incomplete. He whispers, "What did she see before she fell asleep?" The walls breathe, murmuring fragments of lost dreams. The oracle dreamed beyond dreaming, they seem to say. She saw something that even time could not remember. Morpheus feels a chill ripple through his form. He walks deeper, past chambers filled with sleeping thoughts. Dreams of kings, of children, of wandering souls float around him. They flicker like candles, fragile but unwilling to die. At the heart of the temple lies a pool of still light. Its surface mirrors nothing, not even Morpheus himself. He kneels beside it, listening to the silence that hums beneath. The oracle's essence lingers here, faint and fading. He senses the last echo of her presence, gentle, sorrowful, eternal. She had not vanished. She had gone inward, lost in the labyrinth of her own prophecy. Morpheus closes his eyes, feeling the pulse of forgotten faith. He remembers her laughter, her calm, her endless patience, and he understands. The temple did not die. It sleeps with her. Every stone holds a dream waiting to be reawakened. He stands, his shadow bending like smoke across the pool. "I will find the dream within the dream," he vows. The silence shivers, as if the temple itself hears him. Far away, a faint sound like a bell echoes once, then fades. The air warms. The symbols brighten briefly, as if in response. Morpheus turns toward the inner gate, where the path grows uncertain. He walks forward, following the breath of forgotten prophecy. The temple watches, waiting for its dream to return. In the space between sleep and waking, silence breathes. Dreams drift like stars lost in fog. There, the god of dreams, Morpheus, wanders alone. His realm once shimmered with visions, soft and infinite. Now shadows linger where light once sang. Mortals sleep, but their dreams are hollow. Something ancient has vanished, a whisper gone still. They call it the oracle, forgotten by gods, erased by time. Once, she spoke truths wrapped in riddles. Now her temple lies beneath the ruins of memory. Morpheus feels her absence like a wound in the dark. He listens to the hum of dreams fading into silence. In every slumber, he searches for her voice. Each night, he descends deeper into the folds of oblivion. The stars above his realm flicker, dimming with each lost prophecy. Even gods can forget. Even dreams can die. But somewhere, beyond the edge of sleep, a faint echo remains. It calls his name, soft, unseen, unyielding. And Morpheus answers, stepping into the dream that remembers him. Beyond the temple's heart, the air thickens with unspoken words. Morpheus walks into a corridor of echoes, a place where sound never dies. The walls shimmer with ripples of old voices, trapped in endless repetition. Here lives the keeper of echoes, guardian of every sound ever uttered in dream. No form, no face, only vibration, shifting like smoke through still water. Morpheus, the air whispers, calling his name as though remembering. He bows slightly, knowing the keeper feels all, hears all. "I seek the oracle," he says, his voice steady but laced with unease. The echoes swirl, answering with layered tones, laughter, sorrow, longing. "She spoke one last dream," the keeper hums, voice deep as memory. And then she fell into silence, into a sleep even I cannot hear. Morpheus listens, the words sinking into the stillness of his mind. What did she say? He asks softly, though part of him already knows. The keeper trembles, and the air grows heavy, dense with unshed sound. Fragments begin to form, whispers overlapping, blending, fading. She dreamed of a world that forgot how to dream, the voice replies. A place where imagination turns to dust beneath the sun of reason. The echoes shiver, resonating with melancholy beauty. She spoke those words, and then her voice was gone. Morpheus lowers his gaze, feeling the ache of the truth. Without dreams, even gods lose their shape. He steps closer, his form bending light around his shadow. Show me her final vision, he says, and the air brightens slightly. The keeper hums, summoning ancient resonance from the depths. A sound rises, faint, trembling, older than time. It forms into music, soft and incomplete, like a lullaby left unfinished. In the song, Morpheus sees fragments, the oracle surrounded by fading stars. She whispers to herself, eyes open yet lost. Her hands reach toward nothing, weaving invisible threads. The stars around her dim, flicker, vanish. And then, darkness, endless and waiting. The vision fades and silence returns. Morpheus exhales slowly, his voice quiet as thought. She saw the end of dreaming, he murmurs. The keeper hums in agreement, a sound like morning rain. Find her, Dreamkeeper, or her silence will become all that remains. Morpheus closes his eyes, feeling the echo of his name ripple outward. He senses paths opening, narrow, fragile, uncertain. Each one leads deeper into the forgotten heart of the dream realm. He thanks the keeper, though the air does not answer. Only the hum remains, fading into distant thunder. Morpheus turns, his cloak glimmering with faint light. The echoes follow him, whispering fragments of the oracle's last dream. He walks onward, guided by the sound of silence remembering. The path ahead glows faintly, a thread of hope within endless night. The dreaming was never silent. It once breathed with color, rhythm, and the pulse of countless minds. Now, there is only stillness. Waves of forgotten visions roll across endless plains of shadow. Morpheus stands among them, cloaked in the dust of memory. His footsteps make no sound upon the glassy surface of lost thought. He gazes upward. The stars of dreamlight flicker faintly. Each one is a human dream fading into nothingness. He reaches out, but they slip through his fingers like mist. Something has gone wrong. The dreaming is wounded, and he can feel its pain. A fracture runs through the heart of his realm, quiet, but deep. The silence spreads like a slow tide. Even the echoes of laughter from childhood dreams are gone. Morpheus closes his eyes and listens. There, a pulse, faint, far away. A whisper in the wind of sleep. He follows it, through corridors made of shimmering glass. Each wall reflects a face he once touched in dreams. Some he remembers, some are strangers. They all fade as he passes. In the distance, the horizon bends and trembles. A ripple moves through the void, and time folds inward. He senses something beneath the surface. Breathing. The dreaming remembers him, though it is afraid. Once, he shaped its skies and built its rivers of thought. Now the rivers have dried. The skies are cracked. He kneels and touches the ground. It hums softly, alive with fragments of memory. Images bloom beneath his palm. A child dreaming of flight. A mother waiting for dawn. A wanderer lost in his own story. Then, all fades to gray. He rises. The voice he seeks is near, hidden beneath the noise of silence. He calls her name, the Oracle of Hypnos. His voice echoes through the hollow dreamscape, unanswered. Once, she was the heart of prophecy, speaking truths in twilight. Now, only her absence replies. Morpheus turns toward the east, where the dreams of mortals once rose. He sees the faint shimmer of temples long forgotten. Marble towers dissolve into clouds of dust. Columns collapse beneath invisible time. The temple of the oracle lies somewhere beyond this sea of stillness. He begins to walk. Each step stirs a ripple of forgotten sound. Fragments of lullabies and prayers drift around him. They whisper of loss, of longing, of faith unremembered. He feels the dreaming watch him, unsure whether to hope or to hide. For even gods can tremble before the things they've forgotten. And so, the god of dreams walks alone, carrying silence like a crown. He does not look back. The stars dim behind him, but ahead, a single light flickers. It is fragile, pale, and distant, but it is enough. He follows, and the silence follows too, patient and eternal. Morpheus stands at the edge of the realm where dreams dissolve into nothing. Before him floats a sphere of pale light, trembling like a heartbeat. It hums with the residue of the oracle's final vision. Fragile, sacred, incomplete. He reaches out, his fingers brushing its surface. The light expands, swallowing him whole, drawing him inward. The world folds, shatters, reforms. He falls through memory, through echoes of forgotten dreams. Faces drift past, dreamers from every age, every life. Some smile, some weep, all vanish like smoke. He lands softly in a place that feels both infinite and small. A dream without end, a loop without waking. The air glows with faint gold and the scent of rain on stone. This is the oracle's last dream, the one she could not escape. Here, time curls upon itself, breathing slowly. Morpheus looks around. The sky bends downward, touching the earth. The horizon hums, folding into spirals of light. He walks forward, each step leaving ripples that shimmer and fade. The ground beneath him feels alive, pulsing like thought itself. He hears whispers, the oracle's voice, distant and broken. Her words scatter like petals in the wind. Do not wake me. Not yet. The dream is not complete. He pauses, unsure if she speaks to him or to herself. He calls her name, his voice echoing into the endless dusk. No answer. Only the soft rhythm of something unseen breathing. He senses she is near, yet hidden within layers of her own creation. A maze made of memory, of visions that loop and repeat. He steps into it, and the dream begins to change around him. Shadows become corridors. Light becomes walls. Every passage hums with the echoes of her voice. He sees fragments, a child drawing stars in the sand, a woman writing stories that disappear as she finishes them. Each image flickers, incomplete, fading before he can understand. The oracle's dream is collapsing inward, feeding on itself. Morpheus knows he must reach her before the cycle closes. He moves faster, following the faint pulse of her essence. It leads him to a lake of glass beneath a sky of sleeping suns. In the lake, reflections drift, faces of those who once dreamed her prophecies. He kneels, watching the surface shimmer with their memories. Then he hears it. Her song, faint, trembling, filled with sorrow and light. The oracle's voice weaves through the air, fragile but alive. He follows the melody to its source, a figure of light curled in sleep. Her form flickers, transparent, almost gone. Morpheus kneels beside her, his hand hovering above her brow. She dreams herself away, he whispers. To wake her, he must enter deeper, into the core of her own dream. He closes his eyes, feeling the realm pull him under once more. The lake ripples, the stars dim, and the dream folds into silence. The silence deepens as Morpheus moves through the dream's hollow veins. Each step echoes like a memory trying to remember itself. The air hums with the weight of things unsaid. Dreams that once danced now drift like fallen leaves. He recalls a place that once glowed with eternal light, the temple of Hypnos, where the oracle once spoke. Her voice guided kings and poets, lovers and wanderers. She spoke not in answers but in symbols, like rain falling backward. Her temple was the pulse of the dreaming, until the day her voice was silenced. Morpheus has not set foot there since. He thought it gone, swallowed by the centuries. But now, fragments return, images caught in the net of his mind. He sees corridors of moonstone, burning with soft silver fire. He hears the hum of eternal wind through endless halls. He remembers her eyes, bright as mirrors of time, The oracle never looked at him, only through him. She saw beyond the veil of all creation. Now, even her reflection is gone. Morpheus closes his eyes, searching within himself. The memory unfolds like parchment burned at the edges. He was there, long ago, when she spoke her final prophecy. Her voice trembled as if pulled by unseen tides. "You will forget me," she said, "and when you do, the world will forget its dreams." He tried to stop her, but she smiled, serene, distant, eternal. Then the temple fell silent, and with time, even he forgot, until now. The dreaming trembles beneath his feet. He feels its pulse quicken, like a heart long asleep. Fragments of her song drift through the air, faint and fractured, a rhythm buried in silence. He follows the sound, deeper into the sea of memory. The horizon bends into shapes of forgotten architecture. Pillars of starlight emerge from the dark. Steps appear beneath his feet, ancient, cracked, and luminous. Each step is a dream remembered, a memory restored. The further he walks, the more the silence retreats. Whispers awaken, carrying the names of lost dreamers. He feels their yearning rise from the depths, an ocean of longing that never sleeps. The temple waits beyond the mist, veiled and patient. Morpheus pauses, his gaze steady, his heart uncertain. What if he is too late? What if the oracle has chosen not to return? He inhales the silence, tasting the dust of forgotten divinity. Still, he walks forward. For even if the oracle is gone, her absence must be understood. The dreaming cannot heal without remembering what it lost. And so, he descends through the mist, toward the temple buried beneath the ruins of his own mind. The stars above him flicker as if watching. Somewhere far away, a mortal stirs in sleep, whispering a name the waking world no longer knows. Morpheus. Darkness unfolds like a curtain drawn by invisible hands. Morpheus drifts deeper, sinking into the oracle's inner dream. The air feels thicker here, as if woven from forgotten breath. He opens his eyes to a realm without edges or direction. The ground moves like water, reflecting skies that do not exist. Shapes bloom and vanish, memories turning to mist before touch. He walks through clouds of color, feeling each hue hum with emotion. Dreams are alive here, but fragile, like thoughts that fear being remembered. He sees fragments of the oracle's mind scattered like glass. Each shard glows faintly, showing moments she once foresaw. A child standing beneath twin moons. A city asleep beneath the sea. A clock with hands spinning backward, ticking to no rhythm at all. Morpheus touches one shard. A surge of sound floods through him. The oracle's voice whispers, "We dream because we forget." He releases it, the fragment floating away like ash on water. The realm shifts again, folding in waves of slow light. Morpheus steps forward, and the ground opens beneath him. He falls, not downward, but through layers of her consciousness. Each layer whispers stories, memories, and fears she never spoke aloud. He lands in a garden of silver trees where time grows like fruit. The air is soft, shimmering, and heavy with silence. The oracle appears here, but only as shadow, a reflection without form. Her voice echoes softly, distant, yet near. "Morpheus, you shouldn't have come." He looks around, searching for her presence. "I had to," he says. "The dreams are fading without you." She sighs, a sound of wind over still water. They fade because they no longer believe themselves real. He steps closer, his figure glowing faintly in the dim light. "You are the heart of the dream. Without you, the stories lose shape." Her shadow flickers, trembling. "I saw too much," she whispers. "I dreamed the end of all dreaming." Morpheus feels the air grow colder. "Then let me carry it for you." The silence deepens. The garden begins to dissolve. Leaves turn to starlight, drifting upward like memories unspoken. "You cannot," she says. "It is already written. The world forgets itself." He reaches toward her, but his hand passes through shadow. Only a faint warmth lingers, the echo of her light. The oracle's voice fades into the wind. When dreams stop believing, even gods fall asleep. Morpheus stands alone in the unraveling garden. He knows now this dream is not a prison, it is a warning. The oracle's fear has become her creation. If he cannot rekindle faith in the dreaming, all will vanish into stillness. He looks upward, toward the faint light beyond the veil. I will not let the dream die, he whispers. The realm trembles, uncertain, listening. Then he takes a step forward, into the next layer of the dream. Beyond the ruins of memory flows the river Lethe. Its waters shimmer like liquid glass, carrying forgotten dreams downstream. Every ripple hums with echoes of names erased by time. Morpheus stands at its edge, his reflection shifting with every breath. He sees 1,000 faces within the current, all the dreams he has lost. They whisper his name like a prayer fading into the wind. He kneels beside the water and dips his hand into the stream. The chill runs through him, ancient and soft, like the memory of rain. Visions bloom beneath the surface, lives unlived, words unspoken. He feels their weight, tender yet unbearable. A voice rises from the river, low and distant. Morpheus, keeper of dreams, why do you disturb the waters of forgetting? From the mist, a figure emerges, the keeper of the stream. Her form shimmers like starlight woven with shadow. Her eyes hold the calm of eternity. She speaks again, her tone neither kind nor cruel. To awaken what is lost, one must surrender what is known. Morpheus lowers his gaze. What must I surrender? He asks. The keeper smiles faintly. Your certainty. She gestures toward the river. Drink, and remember that all knowledge is borrowed from the unknown. Morpheus hesitates. The water glows with strange allure. He knows the risk. To drink from Lethe is to lose oneself. Yet without memory, there can be truth unclouded by pride. He takes a breath and leans closer. The river hums like a song of distant worlds. He touches his lips to the water. For a moment, silence swallows everything. Then the world unfolds. He sees dreams from before the dawn of man, stars dreaming of their own birth. He sees the first whisper of creation, carried on the wind of nothingness. He sees the oracle, not as she was, but as she will be. Her voice echoes through the current, faint but certain. Morpheus, you will find me where the dream forgets itself. The vision fades. The keeper watches him, her expression unreadable. Now you carry both memory and oblivion, she says. The path ahead will not reveal truth, only reflection. Morpheus rises, his robes glistening with silver droplets. The river flows on, unbothered by what it has shown. He looks once more into the current, and the faces vanish. Only his own remains, blurred, uncertain, dissolving into the flow. He turns away, feeling lighter, yet somehow more burdened. The path before him gleams faintly in the half-light. Behind him, the keeper fades into mist, whispering a final warning. To seek the forgotten is to risk becoming it. He walks onward, through a world of trembling shadows. The sound of the river follows him, like the heartbeat of silence. And in the far distance, the echo of a dream calls him home. The dream shifts again, melting into flowing silver light. Morpheus stands beside a vast river, silent yet alive. Its waters shimmer with words that never reach their end. This is the river of unspoken names, where all unsaid things drift. He gazes upon it, feeling each ripple murmur with human longing. Every drop carries fragments of forgotten dreams and unspoken truths. He kneels, touching the surface gently. The river stirs, voices whispering up from its depths. Some cry softly, some laugh, others simply breathe. Morpheus, they say in countless tones. Why have you come? He answers with calm. To find her, the oracle who sleeps. The water glows faintly, forming faces that shift like mist. She crossed us once, the river hums, to hide what she had seen. Morpheus listens. What did she fear? The river replies with a sorrowful sigh. She dreamed of silence, of a world that forgets to dream. He feels the truth like a pulse through the current. The river begins to flow faster, its light deepening into gold. Images rise from its depths. Children closing their eyes too soon, artists erasing their visions, dreamers turning away from wonder. The river trembles under the weight of lost imagination. Morpheus watches in silence, his reflection broken by ripples. He whispers, "So this is what she tried to save." The current answers softly. She gave her voice to hold the dream. He feels the echo of her sacrifice vibrating through the water. The oracle poured her essence into the river, becoming its memory. That is why her voice still lingers here, faint but alive. Morpheus closes his eyes, listening deeper. He hears her faint whisper carried by the current. Dreams are the breath of the soul. Without them, even gods fade. He stands, the reflection of his form rippling with determination. I will bring back the voice that was silenced, he vows. The river hums with approval, its waves glowing brighter. Morpheus, to awaken her, you must remind them, the dreamers. Remind them to speak what they hide, to hope what they fear. He nods slowly, understanding that the oracle's awakening depends not on gods, but on belief reborn within mortal hearts. He gathers the shimmering water in his hands. It swirls like liquid memory, singing softly. When he releases it, droplets rise, forming tiny stars. They drift upward, escaping the dream, seeking those who still dream awake. Each star will carry a forgotten name, a wish, a spark of wonder. Morpheus watches as they vanish beyond the horizon of thought. The river calms, its voice quiet but peaceful now. He turns away, feeling the pull of the next path, the garden of still time. Behind him, the river whispers one final phrase. Do not forget her. For when her name is spoken, the dream will live again. Morpheus walks on, the song of the river echoing in his steps. Morpheus walks through a silence so deep it feels like memory. The air glows faintly, silver dust floating in slow motion. He follows a narrow path of light that winds between unseen worlds. At its end lies a garden unlike any other, the garden of still time. No wind stirs here, no sound breaks the quiet. Petals hang frozen mid-fall, suspended by invisible threads. Each flower glows softly, caught in a moment that never ends. Time itself seems to rest, curled up like a sleeping child. Morpheus steps forward carefully, each movement slow, deliberate. The ground beneath him hums like a clock that has forgotten to tick. He feels every second stretch, heavy with the weight of eternity. At the center of the garden stands a crystal arch, veiled in light. Beneath it lies the oracle, her form still as glass. She sleeps upon a bed of light, her eyes closed, her breath unmoving. Her skin shines faintly, like dawn trying to remember itself. Morpheus kneels beside her, the air trembling around him. For a long time he says nothing. He simply listens. There is no sound, only the echo of her dreaming. He reaches out, not to wake her, but to understand her silence. When his fingers hover above her, the air vibrates gently. A voice, faint as starlight, slips into his mind. Morpheus, why do you seek me still? He closes his eyes, letting the whisper wrap around him. Because the dreams are fading, he answers softly. Her voice flows like a river through his thoughts. They fade because the world has stopped believing in wonder. He feels her sadness, deep and endless, like the space between stars. The dreamers forget, she continues, and so the dream forgets them too. He bows his head. Then tell me how to remind them. The oracle's light flickers, as if considering the question. You cannot force belief, she says. Only awaken it. Show them the beauty they left behind, the truth they once imagined. Morpheus opens his eyes, gazing at her still form. You are the heart of that beauty, he says. You cannot fade. The air trembles. The flowers quiver, though no wind moves. A single petal falls at last, landing beside her hand. Her lips curve faintly, almost smiling. "Dreams are not mine alone to guard," she whispers. "They belong to every soul that dares to close its eyes." The light around her grows dimmer, softer, peaceful. Morpheus realizes she is not dying. She is waiting. Waiting for the dreamers to return, for faith to bloom again. He rises slowly, his gaze lingering on her sleeping form. "I will remind them," he vows. "And when they remember, you will awaken." The garden shimmers, holding his words like a promise. Time remains still, but hope stirs faintly in the air. As Morpheus turns to leave, a single whisper follows him. "Do not forget, Dreamkeeper. Even silence can dream." Beyond the river, the world softens into endless twilight. A scent of dreams lingers in the air, sweet, fragile, almost alive. Morpheus walks among drifting petals of starlight. They fall gently, dissolving before they touch the ground. This is the sleeper's garden, where the dreamers who never woke remain. Each blossom is a fragment of someone's slumber, a memory wrapped in silence, breathing softly. He moves slowly through the rows of sleeping thoughts. The garden hums, low and steady, like a heartbeat shared by 1,000 souls. Beneath every flower, a sleeper lies unseen. Their dreams feed the roots, keeping this place alive. Morpheus bends beside a cluster of silver blooms. He touches one, and it trembles under his fingers. Visions spill forth like mist, a child painting stars on the ceiling, a song half sung, a promise never kept. He sees joy, sorrow, and everything between. Then the image fades, leaving behind a faint warmth. He whispers, "You still dream," and moves on. The deeper he walks, the older the dreams become. Here lie the slumbers of ancient minds, forgotten poets, lost empires, gods without names. Their dreams shimmer with power and sadness, untouched for millennia. He passes through arches of moonlight and corridors made of sighs. Whispers swirl like smoke, shaping faces that vanish when he looks too long. He knows this place is sacred, a resting ground for imagination itself. And yet, something feels wrong. The balance is faltering. The garden, though beautiful, grows cold at its heart. He feels the weight of absence pressing from below the roots. The oracle once tended this place, her voice keeping the dreams in harmony. Without her, the blooms sleep without direction, drifting deeper into stillness. Morpheus kneels and places his hand upon the earth. He feels the heartbeat of the garden, faint, uneven, struggling. He closes his eyes and listens. Beneath the hum, a murmur rises, soft, but distinct. "Morpheus," it says. The voice is ancient, threaded with dust and light. He opens his eyes, and for a moment, the petals stir. The garden exhales, as if recognizing him. A path opens ahead, narrow, winding, glowing faintly with blue fire. He follows it, heart steady, gaze unbroken. The whispers grow clearer, blending into a melody. It is a song he remembers from the dawn of dreams, a song the oracle used to hum when the stars were young. He stops beneath an enormous tree made of woven night. Its branches cradle constellations, its roots sink into infinity. At its base lies a single flower unlike any other, pale gold, untouched by time. He reaches out, hesitant, reverent. As his hand brushes the petals, a breath escapes the world. The flower opens, releasing a sigh of light, and from within, a voice speaks, clear, fragile, and familiar. "Why did you forget me?" it asks. Morpheus trembles. For the first time in ages, he cannot answer. Morpheus leaves the garden of still time with quiet steps. Behind him, the oracle remains asleep beneath her veil of light. The silence clings to him, heavy yet full of meaning. He knows now what he must do, though the path ahead is fragile. To awaken her, he must restore faith in dreams themselves, not among gods or spirits, but within mortal hearts. He walks through the shifting veil between realms, returning toward the waking world. The boundaries blur, and he can feel the pulse of humanity beyond. Cities hum with motion, minds clouded by noise and reason. Yet beneath the surface, dreams still breathe, faint and waiting. He moves among them unseen, passing through countless sleepers. Each dream flickers weakly, gray, colorless, afraid to grow. A poet dreams of silence where words once danced. A child forgets how to fly in a sky that no longer answers. A musician hums a tune that fades before it forms. Morpheus feels their yearning, buried deep under doubt and fatigue. He reaches out, whispering softly into their slumber. Remember what it felt like to wonder. His voice drifts through the dreamscapes, gentle as falling snow. For some, it becomes a spark, a memory of joy, of creation. A painter dreams again in colors brighter than dawn. A lonely traveler finds themselves standing beneath two suns. A young girl opens a book that writes its own story. Morpheus smiles faintly, watching the light return to their dreams. The dream realm responds, trembling with renewed warmth. Each mortal imagination reignites a forgotten constellation above. The stars flicker back to life, forming new paths in the sky of sleep. He gathers their light, shaping it into a thread of golden breath. This thread is belief, pure, unfiltered, alive. He weaves it into his cloak, carrying it back toward the oracle. As he walks, he feels her pulse faintly, calling through the silence. The more humans dream, the louder her heartbeat grows. He whispers, across the realms, letting his voice echo like wind. Dreams are not escape. They are memory of what we are meant to be. His words drift into the hearts of those who listen, even without knowing. And slowly, the dream realm begins to bloom once more. Rivers run clearer, colors deepen. Forgotten music hums beneath the air. Morpheus pauses beneath the returning constellations. He looks up, sensing the oracle stir from her long sleep. The world is remembering her, and she is remembering the world. He closes his eyes and lets the golden thread unravel across the sky. Each spark becomes a seed planted in human thought. Each seed a promise that dreaming is still sacred. As the light spreads, the veil of silence begins to tear. The realm of sleep hums again with the rhythm of creation, and from far away, a single whisper answers his. Morpheus, I can hear them. He smiles, the first true smile in ages. The oracle is awakening. The world begins to dream again. The voice lingers in the air, trembling like a half-remembered song. Morpheus stands beneath the tree of night, his heart echoing its rhythm. The golden flower glows faintly, its light pulsing in time with the garden's breath. He whispers into the silence, Oracle, is that you? The petals stir, shimmering as if waking from an eternal dream. A soft laugh answers, fragile and distant, yet unmistakable. You remember the sound of my voice, the oracle says, but not the words we shared. Her tone carries both sorrow and wonder. Morpheus bows his head, shadows trembling across his face. Why did you vanish? He asks. Her voice drifts like wind through crystal. I did not vanish. I was forgotten. Her words fall like drops of water into stillness. When mortals cease to dream of truth, I faded into the dark. Morpheus feels the weight of centuries pressing upon him. He sees flashes, the night of her silence, the fading of the temple. The moment he turned away, choosing to forget. She continues, her tone neither blame nor forgiveness. You, Lord of Dreams, chose mercy over prophecy. He looks up, confusion flickering in his eyes. Mercy? He repeats. Yes, she whispers. You silenced my voice so mortals might dream freely, without destiny, without fear. The truth cuts softly, like moonlight through mist. He remembers now, the decision made long ago, born of love and sorrow. The oracle was never destroyed. She was sealed within the deepest dream, safe from the hunger of fate. But that silence came with a price. The dreaming itself began to fade, unanchored by prophecy's rhythm. Her voice was its compass, and without it, all wandered astray. Morpheus closes his eyes, guilt blooming like a storm within him. I tried to protect them, he says. I did not know I would lose you. The oracle's voice softens. You did what you must. Even gods cannot hold both freedom and fate. A pause stretches, filled with the hum of sleeping worlds. Then, quietly, she asks, "Will you restore me?" Morpheus hesitates. He knows what it means. To awaken her is to awaken destiny itself. Mortals will dream of futures once more, some bright, some terrible. He looks toward the horizon, where dreams flicker like distant fireflies. "If I do," he murmurs, "the world will no longer belong to them alone." Her voice answers gently, "Nor has it ever. Dreams are not chains. They are mirrors." Her light dims slightly, waiting. Morpheus takes a breath, long and deep. He touches the golden petals again. The garden stirs, trembling beneath his touch. All around, the sleepers whisper in their slumber. He feels their dreams begin to shift, as if holding their breath. "I will find you," he says softly. "And when I do, you will choose whether to awaken." The flower closes once more, sealing the light inside. The garden falls silent, but something new stirs in the air. Hope. Morpheus turns away, and the path before him glows faintly with dawn. The oracle's echo follows, fading into the wind. "Do not fear remembering," she whispers. "Fear forgetting again." The dream realm breathes again, glowing softly under the reborn constellations. Morpheus stands upon the silver dunes, feeling the pulse of life return. Every ripple of sand hums with echoes of fresh imagination. Yet the awakening is not complete. The oracle still lies between worlds. Her voice lingers faintly, distant, but growing stronger with each dream. Morpheus closes his eyes and listens to the rhythm of her call. It's not a sound, but a memory, of prophecy, of time, of creation itself. He follows that resonance through the shimmering corridors of the mind. Each step takes him closer to the heart of the realm. The dream nexus. It is where all dreams converge, where thought meets eternity. But now, the nexus is fractured, its threads tangled in doubt and fear. The remnants of forgotten dreams swirl like mist, lost and unanchored. He kneels and touches the ground, feeling fragments of memory flow. A child's laughter, a storm of color, a tear of joy unspent. Each fragment holds a heartbeat, a trace of a human soul. He begins to weave them together, strand by fragile strand. The golden thread from earlier glows brighter as he works. It hums in harmony with his heartbeat, alive with purpose. The fragments begin to merge, forming a tapestry of living dreams. Faces, voices, and stories bloom across its luminous surface. He sees the oracle's image within the weave, faint but radiant. Her eyes open slowly, shining with starlit clarity. "Morpheus," she whispers, "you've rekindled what was lost." He bows his head, humble before her awakening presence. "The dreams of mortals gave me the strength," he replies softly. "They remembered what it meant to believe." The oracle smiles, her voice like wind through silver trees. "And so, the realm remembers me, but the balance must still be restored." Her light begins to spread, filling the nexus with gentle warmth. The broken threads knit themselves together, guided by her will. From the union of mortal faith and divine dream, a harmony returns. The constellations above rearrange into new patterns, symbols of rebirth. Morpheus feels the energy flow through him, steady and infinite. The dream realm no longer trembles. It breathes with tranquil grace. The oracle rises, no longer bound by slumber or silence. She stands beside Morpheus, her presence calm yet powerful. "The world of dreams and the waking world are reflections," she says. "When one forgets its wonder, the other fades in sorrow." Morpheus gazes into the shifting horizon, seeing both realms overlap. "I will guide them," he vows, "so they never forget again." The oracle places a hand upon his heart. "Then let this moment become the dawn of remembrance." The stars flare once more, their light cascading like a river of gold. Dreamers across the world stir, hearts alight with quiet inspiration. Painters see new visions. Poets wake in tears of beauty. And somewhere, a child smiles in sleep, whispering a name she's never known. Morpheus. He smiles faintly, feeling her voice ripple through the cosmos. The oracle turns to him, her expression serene. It has begun. The dream is no longer forgotten. Together they stand beneath the eternal sky of creation. The dream is alive again, and it will never fade. The path before Morpheus twists like smoke, leading to a place untouched by time. The garden fades behind him, its whispers echoing faintly. Ahead lies the gate of still time, a doorway older than dreams. It stands upon nothing, suspended in the breath between seconds. Its frame glows faintly, woven from the silver of forgotten hours. The air here is thick with stillness. Even the stars refuse to move. Morpheus steps closer, his reflection stretching across invisible glass. He sees not one self, but many. Fragments scattered across eternity. Each reflection bears a different face, a different sorrow. The gate hums, a sound between heartbeat and silence. It knows him, and it remembers. He reaches out, but the surface ripples, refusing his touch. A voice rises from within the light, his own voice, yet older. "Why do you return?" it asks. Morpheus pauses, the question hanging heavy in the void. "To remember," he replies. The reflection smiles, sad and knowing. To remember is to suffer. To dream is to forget. Morpheus frowns. Without memory, there is no meaning. The reflection shakes its head. Without forgetting, there is no peace. The words strike him deep. He has spent eons carrying the dreams of mortals, their hopes, their grief. Every joy he gives birth to fades into sorrow. Every vision becomes dust. And yet, he never stops dreaming for them. The gate brightens, as if feeding on his hesitation. The reflections begin to move on their own, whispering his name. Each one speaks a truth he has buried. One shows him as a child of night, fragile and curious. Another as a god of creation, shaping stars with gentle hands. A third as a weary keeper, watching everything fade. Their voices overlap, forming a chorus of remembrance. Morpheus, they call. You cannot pass while you still cling to what was. He closes his eyes. For a long moment he stands still, caught between silence and knowing. Then he speaks softly. I do not seek what was. I seek what remains. The reflections falter. The gate trembles, its light deepening into gold. The voice returns, quieter now. Then leave behind the dream you once were. Morpheus bows his head. He places a hand over his chest and exhales. Light spills from his palm, a sphere of pure memory. Within it shimmer images of every dream he has ever shaped. He watches them flicker. Joy, fear, love, loss. Then, with steady grace, he lets it fall into the void. The gate absorbs it, glowing brighter than dawn. The reflections dissolve, leaving only stillness. Morpheus steps forward. The air parts like water, and the world bends around him. For the first time in an age, time itself takes a breath. He walks through the gate of still time, and the silence behind him closes like a sigh. The dream realm glows with harmony once more, vast and luminous. Morpheus stands upon the bridge of dawn, where dreams meet waking light. The oracle beside him, radiant and calm, watches the horizon unfold. Together they gaze upon the world below, alive, dreaming, believing. The threads of imagination now flow freely between realms. Every dream born in sleep finds reflection in waking hearts. Every thought of hope, every spark of wonder strengthens the weave. Morpheus breathes deeply, feeling the rhythm of creation in his chest. For the first time in countless ages, the balance feels whole. The oracle speaks softly, her voice like music carried by the wind. You have restored what was lost, Morpheus. Yet this is only the beginning. He turns to her, his eyes calm but questioning. What do you mean, oracle? She smiles, her gaze stretching far beyond the stars. Dreams do not stay still. They evolve, just as hearts do. He nods, understanding that the cycle never ends. New dreams will be born. Old ones will fade into memory. But their essence, the spark of wonder, will endure. The oracle raises her hand, weaving a new constellation in the sky. It forms the shape of an open eye surrounded by spiraling light. This, she says, is the sigil of remembering, a promise between realms. Morpheus watches as the sigil glows softly, visible to all dreamers. Whenever doubt darkens their hearts, they will see it in their sleep. A symbol whispering. That imagination never truly dies. He feels a sense of peace settle upon him, gentle and deep. The dream realm hums in resonance, its colors richer than before. Mountains shimmer, rivers sing, stars move like slow tides. Every corner hums with the pulse of human thought and wonder. Morpheus turns toward the veil that separates dream from reality. He steps closer, his reflection shimmering like liquid starlight. "I must walk among them again," he murmurs, "to remind them that dreams belong to all, not only to sleep." The oracle nods, her eyes soft with knowing. "You will find me in every silence, every moment of awe." Their hands meet, God and oracle, dream and prophecy, united once more. A soft wind rises, carrying golden dust across the horizon. The constellations shift as he takes his first step toward the waking world. Each step echoes through the realms like a heartbeat of eternity. He passes through the veil, his form dissolving into the morning light. Somewhere a dreamer awakens with tears of joy and no reason why. A poet writes words that feel older than time itself. A child sketches a symbol she's never seen, but somehow remembers. And high above, the sigil of remembering gleams brighter than ever. The oracle watches from her luminous throne, whispering softly, "May they never forget what it means to dream." The dream realm sighs, vast, eternal, and alive. Its echoes reach every corner of imagination, carrying one truth. Dreams are the bridge between what is and what might be. And as long as one heart dares to believe, Morpheus will endure. He will walk in silence, unseen yet ever present. Guardian of dreams, keeper of wonder, herald of what lies beyond sleep. And so the story closes, not with an ending, but with a beginning. Beyond the gate of still time, the world reshapes itself. Morpheus steps into a place untouched by mortal thought. It is neither dream nor waking, but the breath between both. The air glows faintly, filled with drifting motes of memory. He stands at the edge of a vast chamber carved from starlight. Columns rise like frozen constellations, reaching into eternity. In the center lies a figure, still and luminous, the oracle. Her form rests upon a bed of shadow and flame, wrapped in silence. Her eyes are closed, yet the air around her hums with unspoken truth. Morpheus moves closer, reverent, uncertain. He can feel the power radiating from her. Soft, ancient, infinite. It hums through the walls, through the fabric of his being. For a moment he simply stands and listens. The sound is not music, not language, but remembrance itself. Every forgotten prophecy, every dream left unfinished, whispers here. He kneels beside her, reaching out but not touching. "You have slept too long," he murmurs. The oracle does not stir. Her light flickers faintly, like a candle resisting the wind. He senses that she dreams, but her dream is vast, consuming, eternal. Through the silence, fragments of her slumber reach him. Visions ripple through the air, the rise of empires, the birth of stars, the death of faith. He sees humanity wandering through endless night, seeking meaning. He sees their dreams bending beneath the weight of fear, and within it all, he feels her presence, watching, waiting, enduring. Morpheus closes his eyes and enters her dream. At once, the chamber dissolves into waves of light. He stands within her vision, surrounded by shifting skies. 1,000 voices murmur in the distance, echoing forgotten prophecies. The oracle appears before him, but not as the sleeping figure. She is radiant, alive, her form woven from gold and mist. Her eyes meet his, calm, knowing, endless. "Morpheus," she says, "you walk in the ruins of your own making." He bows his head. "Then teach me how to rebuild." Her smile is sad. "You cannot rebuild what was never meant to last." She gestures, and the dream expands around them. Mountains rise, oceans tremble, stars bloom and fade. "This is the cycle," she whispers. "Dream, creation, oblivion." He watches, silent, awed by the beauty and the sorrow. "Why have you shown me this?" he asks. "To remind you," she answers, "that forgetting is mercy, but remembering is truth." He feels the truth of her words settle deep within him. The dream begins to collapse, folding into itself. Her light dims and the chamber returns. She lies still once more, her breathing faint but steady. Morpheus stands, his expression solemn. He knows now what he must do. To awaken her, he must not command. He must remember. He kneels beside her once more, whispering softly, "Forgive me." And the light around them trembles, as if the world itself were holding its breath. The dream deepens, pulling Morpheus into a world beyond memory. Light bends and time unravels like silk in the wind. He walks through endless reflections of what once was and what might be. Here, every thought becomes shape, every silence becomes voice. The oracle stands before him again, radiant, yet bound by shadows. Her eyes are vast oceans of knowing and forgetting. "Morpheus," she says softly, "you should not have entered my dream." He smiles faintly. "It is the only way I could find you." Her gaze trembles, sorrow flickering behind her calm. "You seek to awaken me," she says. "But do you understand what that means?" He hesitates. "To restore balance, to bring back what was lost." The oracle's expression darkens, as though the dream itself weeps. "What was lost was never meant to return," she whispers. She turns, and the world around them ripples, visions blooming in her wake. He sees mortals dreaming of the future, chasing their own ends. Empires born from hope, collapsing under their own certainty. "Prophecy is a burden," she continues. "It bends the will of those who hear it." Morpheus watches the visions unfold. Kings kneeling before fate, lovers undone by fear. She raises her hand, and the dream freezes. "I was not silenced by you, but by mercy itself," she says. "You wished to free them from the prison of destiny." Her eyes meet his, bright, unblinking. But without prophecy, the dreaming lost its anchor. It began to drift, aimless and fragile, forgotten by its maker. Her voice trembles, soft as starlight. "I am the heart you sealed away, not to punish, but to protect." Morpheus feels the truth settle like gravity in his chest. He sees again the night he chose silence over power. He remembers her final words, her fading light, his promise to guard her rest. The oracle steps closer, her form flickering between past and present. "You cannot awaken me without restoring prophecy," she warns. "To bring back foresight is to bind the future once more." Morpheus looks down, his shadow long upon the shifting ground. "Then I will not awaken you fully," he says, "only enough to remember." She studies him, silent, the air trembling with unspoken thought. "Memory without destiny is chaos," she murmurs. "Yet perhaps chaos is what the dreaming needs." He reaches out, and this time she does not move away. Their hands meet, dreamlight against starlight. The moment expands, infinite and fragile. The dream around them shatters into 1,000 streams of light. Each one carries a fragment of prophecy, scattering across eternity. The oracle's eyes widen. "You have undone the seal." Morpheus nods, his voice low. "Not undone, transformed." She smiles faintly, her form beginning to fade. "Then let the world dream freely." but never forget what it costs. Her voice lingers as the dream collapses into silence. When Morpheus opens his eyes, the chamber glows with new light. The oracle still sleeps, but her lips move as if whispering through time. The words are faint, but he hears them. Dream wisely, Lord of Night. For every vision born, something must be lost. The light fades slowly, leaving Morpheus alone in the chamber. The silence is not empty. It breathes. It listens. He stands still, watching the oracle's faint glow shimmer and settle. Something within her has changed. The stillness no longer feels eternal, but waiting. Morpheus steps back, his cloak brushing against the edge of shadow. He looks upward. The stars above the chamber begin to move again. For centuries, they had been frozen, trapped in timeless rhythm. Now, they shift, forming constellations unseen by mortal eyes. He feels it, the dreaming itself stirring awake. The walls hum with energy, soft and uncertain. Dreams that had lain dormant rise like mist, fragile but alive. Visions bloom across the marble floor. Hopes, fears, forgotten prayers. Morpheus kneels, touching the light that spills from the oracle's hand. It feels warm, like memory. He closes his eyes, hearing faint whispers. The voices of dreamers across realms, calling, searching, believing. The oracle's voice drifts through them, faint as dawn. Morpheus, she whispers, you have loosed the weave. He opens his eyes. Then let it weave anew. Her glow brightens for a moment, then dims again, steady, enduring. He knows she will not awaken yet. The balance must return slowly, lest the dreaming shatter. He rises, turning toward the path beyond the chamber. The air ripples, revealing a bridge of glass and smoke. Each step he takes echoes through infinite layers of thought. The dreamscapes beyond shimmer, reshaping themselves. He sees cities of light rebuilding, towers rising from memory. He sees mortals dreaming again, their minds filled with purpose. But he also sees shadows stirring, doubts reborn from remembrance. For every dream revived, a nightmare awakens to match it. He sighs softly. So it begins again. A voice answers, gentle and near. It always does. He turns. It is the raven, his old companion of thought and echo. The bird perches on a column, eyes gleaming with quiet wisdom. You found her, the raven says, and you didn't destroy the dreaming. Not yet, Morpheus replies with a faint smile. The raven tilts its head. So what now? Now, Morpheus says, we remember. He walks onward, the raven fluttering close behind. The path leads into a horizon of living mist where dreams are reborn. Every color, every breath hums with awakening possibility. He feels the dreaming pulse beneath his feet. Ancient, vast, fragile. The stars above whisper secrets, rearranging into new prophecies. He senses the oracle's dream reaching outward, connecting all realms. The dreaming will never be as it was, and perhaps that is mercy. He stops once more, looking back at the glowing gate. The oracle rests within, eternal and unseen. Thank you, he murmurs, not sure to whom. Perhaps to her. Perhaps to the silence itself. The wind stirs, carrying her last echo through the endless sky. Dream, but do not forget. Morpheus closes his eyes, letting the sound fade into him. And somewhere, across the shifting dreamscape, the world exhales, awake again. Dawn rises over the dreaming, though dawn here is not of the sun. It is the awakening of thought, the first breath of memory returning. Morpheus stands on the edge of a vast sea made of light. Each wave carries fragments of dreams, love, loss, wonder, and fear. The world hums softly, rebuilt from silence and forgiveness. He closes his eyes, feeling the pulse of creation beneath his feet. The oracle sleeps still, yet her dream flows through every realm. Her silence is no longer void. It is harmony. Morpheus watches as the dreamers stir across worlds unseen. Children smile in their sleep. Artists wake with visions in their minds. Wanderers find hope in dreams they had forgotten. The dreaming, once fractured, now breathes with quiet unity. The raven circles above him, its feathers glinting like ink and starlight. "So it's done?" the bird asks. Morpheus nods slowly. "Not done. Changed." The raven lands on a rock beside him. "And the oracle?" "She sleeps because the world must remember on its own," he says. He gazes at the horizon, a boundary that never truly ends. Beyond it, new dreams rise like constellations being born. "Will they forget again?" the raven asks softly. Morpheus smiles faintly. "In time. And that is the beauty of it." He turns, his cloak trailing light across the sea. Every step ripples outward, weaving new stories into existence. The dreamers will not know his name, nor the cost of their peace, but their dreams will remember him, as a whisper, a sigh, a shadow of dawn. He stops before the great mirror of the dreaming, where reflection becomes truth. For the first time, he sees not the Lord of Night, but a keeper of memory. The reflection speaks, though its lips do not move. To dream is to lose, and to lose is to begin again. He bows his head, accepting the truth. The raven tilts its head, watching silently. "Morpheus," it says, "will you rest?" He looks to the sea, where the horizon glows with endless potential. "Dreams never rest," he replies. "They evolve." The air shimmers with warmth as he steps forward. The sea parts, revealing a path of glass and mist. Each step carries the hum of 1,000 dreamers breathing in unison. The dreaming calls him, gentle yet infinite. He follows, disappearing into its golden expanse. The raven spreads its wings, calling after him, a sound like memory itself. Then it takes flight, vanishing into the bright horizon. The world grows still again, wrapped in serene quiet. Somewhere far away, a child dreams of stars that speak. A poet wakes with verses of light upon their tongue. A wanderer closes their eyes and smiles, though they know not why. The dreaming endures, reshaped, reborn, and eternal. And in that silence, a whisper lingers. "Remember me not in fear, but in wonder." The sea glows brighter, waves turning into pure light. Morpheus's presence fades into myth, yet his essence remains. For as long as there are dreams, his story will never end. The night is quiet, deeper than silence itself. Stars flicker like forgotten thoughts. A wind moves through the dreamscape, soft as memory. Somewhere within it, Morpheus walks. He carries the weight of every dream ever dreamt. The world of slumber once sang with voices, but now it hums with stillness. The oracle, the heart of dreams' wisdom, is gone. Without her, the threads of sleep unravel slowly. Mortals dream in fragments, their visions dim. Morpheus feels the absence like a shadow at dawn. He listens for her whisper, but hears none. The moon reflects in the glassy sea of sleep, pale and restless. He wonders where she is gone, and why even the stars refuse to speak her name. Every path bends inward, leading to memories lost. He steps through drifting clouds of forgotten dreams, searching for the truth. Something ancient stirs beneath the quiet, calling him onward. In that stillness, a promise lingers, to find the oracle and to awaken what the world has forgotten. The journey begins tonight. Dreams drift like mist across a quiet sea. The world feels hollow, emptied of whispers. Morpheus walks through the haze, his steps soft upon unseen ground. He listens, but no echoes reply. Once this realm shimmered with color and song. Now it lies pale and still, waiting for something lost. Each dream once carried laughter, sorrow, hope. Now, they fade before they can be born. He pauses beside a tree of light, its branches dimming. The leaves, once bright, now fall like fading sparks. He touches one and feels the silence spread through him. The oracle's voice used to keep this world alive. She spoke in visions, weaving meaning from mortal sleep. Without her, the dreams wander without shape. A child's dream flickers beside him. A paper boat adrift on still water. It trembles, then disappears. Morpheus closes his eyes, sensing the pulse of fading dreams. It beats faintly, like a heart slowing to rest. He reaches out to the air, whispering her name. Only the wind answers, carrying fragments of forgotten prayers. He remembers the last time he saw her, beneath the silver dawn of the dreaming fields. Her eyes held galaxies, her words wrapped in time. She had spoken of balance, of dreams that must be guided. Now her absence echoes through every shadow. He feels the dream realm unraveling, thread by fragile thread. The mortals above sleep without meaning. Their nights are quiet, but empty, their souls unanchored. He feels their unease ripple through the dream sea. They wake, restless, without knowing why. He cannot let the silence remain. The world of sleep must breathe again. The oracle must be found. Morpheus kneels beside the fading light, pressing his palm to the dream's surface. Images flicker, glimpses of her face, the sound of her laughter, then darkness. A single voice hums through the distance, faint but real. It calls his name, then fades. He opens his eyes. The stars above shift, forming paths unseen before. He knows what this means. The dream world is guiding him, even in its stillness. The journey will not be easy, nor clear. But it must begin here, in this quiet where dreams have fallen asleep. He stands once more, the air trembling around him. The silence feels alive now, heavy with purpose. He breathes it in, and the world shivers. Somewhere, beyond the horizon of thought, something stirs. Morpheus takes his first step into the unknown, following the faint echo of the forgotten oracle. The dream sea ripples behind him, as if sighing in relief. Night stretches endlessly ahead, soft and deep. And though the silence still reigns, a spark glows faintly in its heart, the beginning of remembrance. The silence breaks with a whisper. It floats through the mist, soft as breath. Morpheus turns toward the sound, his gaze steady, his heart uncertain. It is not the oracle's voice, yet it carries her rhythm, her tone. He steps forward, following the echo through drifting clouds of silver. The air grows warmer, shimmering with faint lights like forgotten dreams. Each light trembles as he passes, as if remembering him. The whisper returns, clearer now, his name, carried by invisible tides. Morpheus, it says, gentle and sorrowful. The sea remembers. He looks ahead and sees the horizon ripple like a sheet of glass. Beyond it lies the ocean of dreams, vast and endless. It once flowed with colors unknown to waking eyes. Now its surface glows faintly, as if yearning to dream again. He walks to the shore, his feet sinking into soft starlight. Waves rise without sound, folding in upon themselves. He kneels and touches the water. It hums beneath his fingers. The whisper deepens, turning into a melody, a memory. He sees visions within the waves, faces of dreamers, moments of forgotten hope. A mother waiting for a child long gone. A poet who never finished his song. A wanderer who looked for home in every sunset. They all call out in silence, their dreams incomplete. Morpheus feels their longing, their quiet pain. He understands now. The oracle's absence has left them untethered. Each dream lost its guide, drifting without purpose. He closes his eyes and listens again. The whisper shifts direction. It flows eastward, where the sea meets the edge of night. A thin line of light glows faintly in the distance. He knows it is not dawn, but something older, deeper. Perhaps a fragment of the oracle's last vision. He rises, his cloak flowing like mist. The wind carries fragments of lullabies. The dream sea stirs beneath him, awakening slowly. As he walks along the shore, memories begin to gather. They form shapes, half seen, half felt, fragments of stories once told. He senses the oracle's essence hidden among them. Her voice lingers, calling him toward the light that never fades. He whispers into the wind, "I will find you." The waves respond, glowing brighter for a moment, then still again. He steps into the shallow water, feeling it rise to his knees. Each ripple sings a note of recognition, ancient and true. The sea remembers her. even if the world does not. The whisper fades, replaced by a deep hum beneath the waves. It is not silence now, but anticipation, a promise forming in the dark. Morpheus walks onward, guided by the fading light, toward the place where dreams begin and endings are born. The sea fades into twilight as Morpheus walks deeper into the mist. The air thickens, heavy with the scent of forgotten memories. Shapes form and dissolve, shadows twisting into fleeting faces. He senses a presence waiting, patient, ancient, watchful. The path narrows into a corridor of light and shadow. Each step he takes echoes softly, as if the world listens. Then, from the stillness, a voice rises, calm, slow, unhurried. You seek what is lost, it says, but do you know what you've forgotten? Morpheus stops. Before him stands a figure woven from dusk. Its eyes shimmer like mirrors, reflecting everything but revealing nothing. It is the Keeper of Shadows, guardian of all that drifts between memory and oblivion. Few have spoken to it and returned unchanged. Morpheus bows his head in respect. I seek the oracle, he says. The Keeper tilts its head, its expression unreadable. The oracle speaks only to those who dream of truth, it replies. Yet truth can wound even the dreamer. Morpheus steps closer, unafraid. The dream world is dying, he says. The oracle's silence unravels its heart. The Keeper studies him, then gestures toward the dark horizon. The oracle's silence was her choice, it whispers. Not all truths wish to be heard. Morpheus feels the weight of those words settle upon him. What do you mean? He asks, voice quiet but steady. The Keeper lifts a hand, and the mist around them stirs. Within it, visions unfold, flickering scenes of the past. Dreamers forgetting their dreams. Worlds fading into stillness. The oracle standing alone beneath a storm of starlight. She foresaw something, the Keeper says softly. Something that would unmake both dream and waking. Morpheus feels a chill, though no wind blows. And she vanished to stop it? The Keeper does not answer. Instead, it steps aside. Behind it lies a narrow passage of light, thin as breath. She'd left a trace, it says, for you to find. But know this, every truth carries its shadow. When you seek her, you seek yourself. The words linger, haunting and uncertain. Morpheus nods, knowing the meaning runs deeper than the Keeper reveals. He walks toward the passage, the light brushing against his cloak. Before he enters, he turns once more. Will I see you again? The Keeper smiles faintly. In every shadow you cast. The mist closes behind him, and the voice fades into silence. He steps into the light, feeling it draw him forward, toward a mirror of echoes, and the reflection he fears to face. The passage of light leads Morpheus into a chamber vast and silent. Walls shimmer like glass, bending reflections into endless loops. At the center stands a mirror, tall and deep as the sea itself. It hums softly, alive with whispers that fade before they form. This is the mirror of echoes, where dreams remember what dreamers forget. Morpheus approaches slowly, each step stirring ripples of soundless thought. The mirror's surface trembles, showing glimpses of faces long gone. Children, laughing. Lovers parting. Wanderers lost in mist. All moments suspended between memory and time. He reaches out, and the glass shivers beneath his touch. For a breath, he sees his own reflection. Then it changes. The image stares back, not as he is, but as he was. Younger, uncertain, burdened with both light and shadow. The voice of the mirror whispers, soft as wind over water. Do you remember who you were before the dreams began? Morpheus's chest tightens. The question feels too familiar. He tries to answer, but words dissolve on his tongue. Visions bloom across the mirror's surface, moments of creation. The first dream he ever shaped. The first mortal he ever blessed. He watches as wonder turned into duty, and duty into silence. The mirror shows him a world once radiant with imagination. Then it dims, revealing cracks beneath the beauty. Dreams twisted by fear, wishes turned hollow by desire. He steps back, uneasy. "Why show me this?" he whispers. The voice replies, "Because you seek truth, and truth begins with memory." He closes his eyes, feeling the ache of centuries within him. He remembers the oracle's laughter, her counsel, her calm. She warned him once that the dreamer can become the dream. He had not understood, until now. The mirror ripples again, and her image appears faintly. She stands in light, her eyes filled with distant sorrow. "Morpheus," she says, her voice like the tide's edge, "the silence was not my doing." He reaches toward her, but the image fades like mist. Only the echo of her words remains, circling the air. The mirror quiets, reflecting only darkness now. Morpheus stares into it, seeing nothing but his own uncertainty. He whispers, "Then who silenced you?" No answer comes, only the soft hum of fading echoes. He understands the mirror's gift, not truth, but direction. To find her, he must follow memory, not shadow. He turns away, the reflection lingering behind him. As he leaves, the mirror glows faintly, a final whisper escaping it. "Seek the city that dreams forgot." There she waits. Morpheus steps into the dim corridor once more. The light flickers, guiding him toward a horizon built of dreams undone. The corridor widens into open sky. Beneath it lies a city half asleep, half forgotten. Its towers are made of fractured glass and fading dreams. The air hums faintly, alive with echoes of old stories. This is the forgotten city, where dreams go when they are no longer believed. Morpheus descends through drifting clouds, his steps light as mist. Streets unfold below, paved with shimmering dust. Shadows of people move slowly, repeating fragments of lost moments. A painter stares at a blank canvas that never fills. A child holds a broken toy, waiting for laughter that will not come. A poet whispers to the wind, reciting words that no one remembers. Morpheus walks among them, unseen, but felt. They are fragments of dreams left behind, unable to fade, unable to wake. He feels their longing, their quiet ache for meaning. The oracle's absence has bound them here, suspended between memory and oblivion. He moves toward the city's heart, a square bathed in pale light. At its center stands a fountain that no longer flows. Around it, statues sleep beneath a veil of dust. He approaches the fountain and kneels beside its dry basin. Carved upon the stone are words worn thin by time. "Dreams live where faith endures." He traces the letters, and the air trembles. A whisper rises from beneath the stone, soft, uncertain, alive. "Morpheus," it says, "why have you come where even dreams forget their names?" He answers quietly, "To find the one who once gave them meaning." The whisper pauses, then sighs like wind through hollow streets. "She passed here once," it says. "Long ago." Her voice carried light, but she did not stay. He looks up. The faint glow above the city shifts, forming patterns like constellations. Fragments of her presence linger, woven into the fabric of the air. He feels her guidance, distant, but real. The statues around the fountain begin to stir, their eyes open slowly, glowing with dim remembrance. One speaks, its voice like the creak of old stone. "She told us to wait," it says, "until the Dreamkeeper returned." Morpheus bows his head. "Then my path is true," he says softly. The statue's gaze turns skyward. "She went where dreams are born but never told," it says. "Follow the golden thread beyond the garden of time." The light above the city brightens for a breath, then fades again. The whispering ceases. The statues return to stillness. Morpheus rises, feeling the pulse of the city grow faint. The dreamer's shadows sink back into quiet repetition. He knows this place will soon fade again, waiting for belief to return. He steps away from the fountain, the air cool against his face. Somewhere ahead, the golden thread awaits. He looks once more at the forgotten city and whispers, Rest now. I will remember you." Then he walks onward, following the faint glimmer of destiny through the fading light. The golden thread glimmers faintly in the air, weaving through drifting fog. Morpheus follows it with quiet resolve, each step guided by memory and faith. It moves like a living thing, twisting through ruins and fading dreams. The world around him shifts, blending shadow and starlight. He senses the pulse of the dream realm growing weaker, stretched thin. The thread hums softly, vibrating with the echo of the oracle's essence. It leads him to an ancient temple, carved from moonlight and forgotten time. Vines of silver bloom across its walls, glowing faintly with the rhythm of sleep. Inside, silence reigns, deep, holy, almost alive. Columns rise like frozen waves, etched with symbols of dreams long past. Morpheus steps forward, the golden thread tightening between his fingers. It guides him to an altar at the temple's heart, where a single flame flickers. The flame dances gently, though no wind stirs. Within its light, he sees images, shifting, fading, reforming. The oracle, seated in calm meditation. The dream world pulsing around her. Her eyes open, meeting his across time and silence. "Morpheus," her voice echoes, faint yet steady, "do you remember the promise?" He whispers, "To guard the dreamers. To keep the balance between hope and sorrow." Her image wavers, smiling with a sadness too deep for words. "Then why do the dreams fade?" she asks. He lowers his gaze. "Because even I began to doubt." The flame flares, its light reaching across the chamber. The thread in his hand burns bright, almost weightless now. It begins to weave itself into the air, forming symbols of gold. They twist into a pattern, a map, or perhaps a memory. He realizes it shows the path to the oracle's resting place. Beyond the known realms, past the veil of time's own sleep. But the path is fragile, visible only to those who still believe. He reaches toward the flame, but it dims at his touch. Her voice fades with it. "Follow where the thread leads," the garden remembers. The light vanishes, leaving only the echo of her words. The temple breathes once more, its walls sighing softly. He looks down at his hand, the thread now woven around his wrist. Its glow is faint but steady, warm against his skin. Outside, the mist parts, revealing a horizon of silver. The stars above shimmer, forming a trail that mirrors the thread's light. Morpheus steps from the temple, the golden thread tugging gently forward. The dream realm stirs, as if awakening from a long, deep slumber. He knows now the next step, the garden of timeless sleep. It is there, the oracle's final echo waits, hidden beyond memory's reach. With quiet strength, he walks into the night, the thread guiding him home. The stars dim as Morpheus walks through a valley of stillness. The golden thread glows softly, guiding him across the endless dusk. The air smells of rain and dreams that never woke. Before him stretches the garden of timeless sleep. It is a place where time forgets to move, where silence breathes like a living thing. Flowers bloom without decay, their petals frozen mid-whisper. Streams of silver water flow, circling themselves in quiet loops. Every leaf hums faintly, as if remembering a dream once lived. Morpheus steps into the garden, his presence stirring faint ripples in the air. The golden thread loosens, drifting like smoke toward the heart of the garden. He follows it past trees that shimmer with fragments of memory. Each branch holds a dream suspended, fragile and bright. He pauses beside one, a vision of a mother cradling her child. The moment glows softly, untouched by sorrow or time. He smiles faintly, knowing these dreams are safe here, protected from forgetting. But beneath the beauty lies a quiet loneliness. Even dreams need to be seen to stay alive. The garden whispers around him, its voice both tender and haunting. "Morpheus," it murmurs, "why have you come where time sleeps?" He answers gently, "To wake what should never have slept." The golden thread drifts toward a small clearing bathed in moonlight. At its center lies a pool of still water, clear as glass. He kneels beside it, seeing not his reflection, but hers. The oracle rests beneath the surface, her eyes closed, her face serene. She looks neither alive nor gone, only paused between breaths. He reaches out, and the pool trembles, rippling with light. Her voice rises faintly through the shimmer, calm and distant. You have come far, Dreamkeeper, yet still, you seek what cannot be found. Morpheus whispers, I seek you. The water stirs, and her reflection opens its eyes. Then remember, she says, I am where you left me, within the dream itself. The words echo through him, deep and familiar. He feels the truth beneath them, like roots beneath soil. The garden brightens, the flowers glowing in waves of gold. Time stirs, hesitates, then stills again. He lowers his hand into the water, and warmth spreads through him. The oracle's image smiles faintly, her voice barely a breath. When the dream forgets itself, it must be dreamt anew. The pool stills, her image fading slowly into silence. Morpheus rises, the golden thread now burning brighter than before. He knows the next step is not to find her, but to awaken her, within himself. The garden quiets, returning to its timeless rest. Morpheus stands beneath a sky that does not move, and whispers, the dream will wake again. The night deepens, though no time passes in the garden. Morpheus stands before the still pool, the golden thread warm against his wrist. The oracle's words echo in his mind, soft and unrelenting. I am where you left me, within the dream itself. He kneels again, gazing into the water that holds no reflection now. The surface trembles, forming ripples that shimmer like silver veins. He feels himself drawn inward, pulled toward the heart of the dream. Without fear, he lets go and falls into the stillness. The world shifts around him, melting into light and memory. He lands in a place made of thought, vast, quiet, infinite. Here, dreams flow like rivers, each one a thread of living memory. The air hums with voices, whispers of every dream ever dreamt. He walks among them, hearing laughter, sorrow, longing. All the sounds of humanity, bound together in an endless song. And then, through the music, he hears her voice again. Morpheus, it calls, closer now. You've come at last. He turns, and she stands before him, the oracle, radiant and calm. Her form flickers like moonlight upon still water. You are not here to find me, she says. You are here to remember. He bows his head, the truth dawning gently. The oracle smiles, eyes glowing with quiet compassion. When you began to doubt, you silenced the dream within yourself. I did not vanish. You closed the door. Her words pierce him not with pain, but with clarity. He understands now. She was never lost, only forgotten. Every dream, every vision, every whisper had carried her voice. The oracle steps closer, her hand touching his chest. Look within, she says softly. See what you once dreamed to be. Light blossoms around them, spreading like dawn through the void. Visions unfold, his first creation, the first dream of humankind. The beauty of hope, the courage of love, the sorrow of loss. All of it bound together by belief, the essence of dreaming. Morpheus feels tears, though no water falls. He whispers, Then I have failed them. The oracle shakes her head gently. No, you have slept. Her form begins to fade, her voice soft as wind. The dream is not broken. It waits for you to wake. He reaches for her, but she smiles one last time. Awaken, Dreamkeeper, and let the world remember. The light bursts, flooding everything in brilliance. He gasps, finding himself once more by the pool in the garden. The golden thread burns away in his hand, turning to light. It sinks into his heart, leaving warmth and clarity. The oracle's presence lingers in the air, calm, complete. He closes his eyes, breathing deeply. The dream is alive again, and so is he. The silence around him no longer feels empty. It hums with the quiet heartbeat of the world reborn. The garden breathes again, soft winds stirring its silent flowers. Morpheus stands still, his eyes open to a world reborn. The golden light fades slowly into his skin, leaving warmth in its place. He feels the oracle's essence alive within him, calm, eternal, whole. For a long moment he says nothing, only listens. The sound of the dream world hums around him, gentle and alive. The silence that once weighed heavy now feels sacred, full of meaning. He realizes the truth. The oracle was never a separate being. She was the voice of intuition, the heart of dreaming itself. Her absence had been his own forgetting, his own silence. Now, that silence has turned to song. He walks through the garden, each step awakening what once slept. The flowers lift their heads, glowing faintly in golden rhythm. Streams begin to flow again, silver light rippling through their curves. Everywhere he passes, dreams stir, stretching into motion once more. He looks toward the horizon, where night meets dawn. The sky glows faintly with the first pulse of color. He knows the dream world is healing, not by his will, but by remembrance. The oracle's final words echo softly in his thoughts. When the dream forgets itself, it must be dreamt anew. He smiles faintly, whispering to the wind, "Then let it dream again." The garden seems to respond, its light deepening, its song rising. He closes his eyes and feels the dreams of mortals flowing again. Children laughing in their sleep, artists painting visions unseen, lovers meeting in moments that never were but always could be. The world above sleeps peacefully, unaware that the balance is restored. And yet, deep within every dream, a quiet change begins to grow. Morpheus lifts his gaze and sees his reflection in the air. Not as god or keeper, but as a fragment of something vast, the dream itself. He breathes deeply, feeling the unity between creation and creator. The oracle's voice rises one last time, gentle as dawn. "You were never meant to rule the dream, only to remember it." He nods, tears of light glimmering in his eyes. The weight he carried for ages dissolves like mist at sunrise. He understands now. The dream is not his to control. It belongs to every soul that dares to close their eyes and believe. He turns toward the garden's edge, where light spills into infinity. Each step he takes blends him deeper into the glow. He is no longer alone, for the dream itself walks beside him. The world breathes, the dreamers smile, and the silence ends. Morpheus whispers into the endless light, "She was never gone. She was always within." And the dream world answers with a soft, eternal sigh, the sound of awakening. The dawn rises over the realm of dreams, golden and still. Morpheus stands at the threshold between worlds, calm and awake. The air carries the fragrance of renewal, light, clear, timeless. The garden behind him hums with quiet harmony, restored at last. He looks upon it and smiles, the weight of eternity now gentle. Every leaf glows softly, each petal alive with silent song. He feels the echo of the oracle's voice linger in the breeze. Not as words, but as presence, eternal and unseen. He whispers, "The dream lives, and so do we." The horizon stretches before him, wide and endless. Beyond it lies the waking world, fragile, restless, yearning. He knows his place now, neither ruler nor prisoner. He is a bridge, a whisper between night and day. Each dream born anew will carry a piece of the oracle's truth, that nothing, once imagined with love, is ever truly lost. He breathes deeply and closes his eyes. Visions flow through him, of cities bathed in starlight, of oceans dreaming beneath moons, of souls finding one another again, all connected, all part of the same eternal song. He steps forward, and the boundary dissolves. The dream folds into the waking, and the waking into the dream. Every sleeper now carries a fragment of light, a spark of the forgotten oracle who still whispers within. "Remember," her voice seems to say. "Remember to dream." The world stirs. Poets awaken with new verses on their tongues. Children smile in their sleep, chasing stars they cannot name. Lovers hold each other tighter, sensing a warmth beyond words. And far above, the constellations shift subtly, aligning anew. Morpheus walks among them, unseen yet ever present. Wherever a dream begins, his shadow follows softly. He listens, guiding, never imposing, the quiet keeper reborn. The silence that once haunted him now feels sacred, full of promise. He knows it will never vanish, for it is part of dreaming itself. He turns one last time to the horizon, where gold meets silver. In that stillness, he feels gratitude, not for victory, but for return. He speaks into the wind. The oracle was not lost, she was waiting. And the world answers with 1,000 soft voices. Leaves rustle, waves shimmer, clouds drift like whispers of thought. Dreamers everywhere breathe in rhythm with his own. He fades into the dawn, his form blending with the light. Only his voice remains, gentle as a promise. If you ever forget, he says, just close your eyes. For every dream remembers you, as I remember her. The light expands, carrying his words into the waking world. And so ends the tale of Morpheus and the forgotten oracle. But in every quiet heartbeat, the dream continues, eternal, alive, remembered.